The Inside Edge Network is brought to you by Fanatics. Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans, dedicated to our favorite teams and athletes to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all the leagues, teams, and players you love. We're talking NFL, Major League Baseball, NBA, National Hockey League, the NCAA. I'm a wrestling guy as well. We got WWE apparel available too. It allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. It's right there in the corner of your screen. Get your official gear. Level up with us at fanatics.com.
Whether you're searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and player. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, but you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
And it's great to have you with us here. Welcome to Midnight Run on this now Thursday, April 2nd. It's 12:03, and we're so happy to have you along. And I can't wait for my W Energy drink to get here. It is almost here, because you won't have to hear my coffee maker in the background firing up during the intro. So I can't even drink it because I need the creamer and everything. So hell, it'll just be straight black. But we're ready to go here on Midnight Run. Glad to have you with us. I do have with me my Alley Rose candles, spring collection or whatever temperature Cleveland brings to us. But we have that ready to go. Glad you're with us here. I'm here. My producer is somewhere. He was with us, Eli Moon, and then I think he lost his camera. But at least physically, he's here. But I need a backup just in case he didn't show up today. So coming in, pitch hitting until Eli's able to come back on camera is his co-host from the Inside Edge Network, Inside Edge Primetime, Chad Bryant. And Chad is here. We'll talk more about Eli a little bit later on. We were both worried. But I wanted to have you hang around for a few seconds because we got to take some time to talk about the Cleveland Guardians and what they were able to do. Beating the Los Angeles Dodgers, winning a series against the Dodgers, and, just starting the season, this road trip, 4-3 against an AL contender in the Seattle Mariners and the two-time defending world champion Los Angeles Dodgers is just amazing. The one thing I wanted to point out, Chad, right before we came on the air, I mentioned a stat about Ohtani that they brought up on the television broadcast, and I think this is very fascinating. So Shohei Ohtani started yesterday, and you want to know what he does the day after his starts. The whole scenario of pitching and being on offense, batting or hitting. So Shohei Ohtani last season, on days after his pitching start, the day after, in 8 games last year, he batted 147 and only had 2 home runs. Tonight, Chad, a critical moment in the 6th inning. He had 2 guys on base and grounded into a double play. Ohtani just didn't have it. Gavin Williams, Chad, was amazing tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, they're going to need more of this. Not only getting Shohei Ohtani out, that's not going to be a problem all season. But yeah, Gavin Williams, if you can get 7 innings out of Gavin Williams, 2 hits, 10 strikeouts, right? Against maybe not the best lineup in baseball right now, but certainly the most expensive. That's good news for the Guardians. If they're going to get this kind of outing out of Gavin Williams, and Bybee was really good last night against the Dodgers. I mean, if this is what we're going to see, if this is the trend and this is what they can do all season, Guardians are going to be in pretty good shape. AA, they're being really good shape.
Yeah, and and again, I don't want to be like, and let's bring Eli in. He woke up. Let's bring him in.
Hey, easy, pal, easy. Easy. I had my W energy today. All right.
We'll share a little bit of the backstory in a few minutes, but no, I wanted to have both of you guys on to react to this run here with the Guardians. Just because this is incredible, and it was like, okay, what can we get out of Gavin Williams? What can we get out of the starting rotation? Chad, you were just talking about Tanner Bybee yesterday, but Eli, to do this against a high-powered offense in Seattle, and then, of course, the Los Angeles Dodgers, and we just mentioned the Ohtani factor there as well. Man, you can't get off to a better start if you're the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah, absolutely, AA. And Chad mentioned it, on primetime. We had talked about the starting rotation, and how they aren't like Kluber and Tomlin and Bauer and this rotation. Remember going to the 2016 World Series? I know you remember, AA. We went to the Game 7 World Series watch party, and we sat there and we watched them. We got rained on for like a half second, and then we lost, and then we went and got pizza downtown, and we sat there at Public Square, and neither one of us said a word. Chad, true story, neither one of us said a word. We walked back to the car, to the parking garage, didn't say a word. AA drops me off at the house. He says, all right, buddy, I'll see you tomorrow. And that was the only words we uttered until we got on main event, and then AA pulled some real crazy work. Look, that's why I love him. We'll get into my situation yesterday. But to get back to the Guardians and all that before I get down memory lane, it felt like this wasn't the same starting pitching caliber, AA, Chad. Guys, it felt like, okay, we just hope these guys can go 4 or 5 innings strong, and then you got to get it to the bullpen. You got to get it to these guys that can deliver. Get it to Cade Smith, and then we're okay. And it feels like, with Gavin Williams pitching the way he did tonight, 10 strikeouts, 7 innings strong, I believe, for Gavin Williams.
That's 7 innings.
Just incredible. You see that, and it gives you hope, especially when the offense is giving you, 4 runs right now a night, it seems like, every night. That's what you need. That's a winning formula. Both, sides of the ball are playing good. And, Zardo really hasn't heated up yet, and I understand fans are going to get impatient with him, but let's not go Will Benson on him, okay? People were ready to run Will Benson out of town, and Will Benson started ripping the ball, the cover off the ball as soon as he left Cleveland. And I get it, things change, but there's guys that have left Cleveland because we wanted to jump the gun and get him out of, Cleveland so fast, or just bench him or whatever. Be patient with Kyle Manzardo. I think he's going to really produce here for this Cleveland Guardians lineup. Reese Hoskins has been really good since he's been here. And that's why I'm excited, AA. I think, you went out, if you're the Guardians, you went against the Mariners, an ALCS finalist, you went against the defending back-to-back World Series champions, and you said, we're not scared of you. And we're not scared of Shohei Ohtani, a 4-time MVP, or 3-4-time MVP. We're not scared of you. So I think that was impressive.
I mean, and to think, too, and there's going to come a time where we have a generational discussion about Ohtani and Aaron Judge. Right. We're going to have that conversation down the road. There's plenty of time this summer to have that conversation. But for this pitching staff to do that in years past, and I'm glad you guys brought up the offense. We're going to talk Jose Ramirez in 2 seconds. He got his first home run of the season. Yeah. And I love Stephen Vogt on the radio broadcast mentioned pregame, Hammy asked him about, Jose Jose Ramirez, what's the strategy to get him going? I love Stephen Vogt's answer. He was just like, yeah, he's in a slump, but he's one hit away from being on a heater for the next 6 months. Yeah. And tonight, I guess we'll bring up Jose Ramirez right now, Chad. Tonight, getting the home run, the 2-1 home run in the 8th inning to put the game away.
Yeah.
If Jose Ramirez is going around the rest of the offense, we're on and cooking.
Yeah, that's what and it's a great answer from Vogt, because you don't have to worry about Jose Ramirez. What's the plan to get him going? You deploy him. That's it. Just put him out there. You put him in the lineup every night. He's going to produce. Baseball is just one of those sports. You're not going to go 3 for 3 with 2 home runs every night. It's not going to happen. You're going to have a stretch, and sometimes it can look bad at the beginning of the season when you start off slow and guys are hitting 0.84 or 1, whatever. It looks bad, but it all evens out at the end. Just like, when guys start off hitting over 400 and we go, hey, does Stephen Kwan have a legit shot? And he ends up hitting 285 or 28, and that's fine. That's good enough. But it all evens out. Baseball is just that sport. It's a very humbling sport, right? It's gonna humble you a little bit. But yeah, you don't have to worry about Ramirez. You just put him out there in the lineup and he goes. And my goodness, AA, if he's got protection this year, if Manzardo gets going, think about Manzardo hit 27 home runs with no protection. If you've got Chase DeLauder healthy and hitting, a home run or 2 every other week or whatever, even if he doesn't have to keep up his current pace, he's not going to hit 200 home runs. But if he can hit, some home runs and be just formidable in that lineup, you get Travis Bazzana up here and he can do some damage. All of a sudden, you've got a pretty exciting 1 through 5 right there. That they protect you. You got to pitch to somebody. You can't just pitch around Jose Ramirez anymore. Now you've got to throw the ball to somebody. And this team could be really, really dangerous.
Then we all say, man, when that freaking foul ball. Can we talk about that for 2 seconds? I know you guys said that on our prime time with Chase a lot. How?
Well, apparently, I don't understand physics. I thought that would be impossible. I've never seen anyone do that before.
Yeah, it was crazy. And obviously, that's why I think it's even crazier that the Guardians are still putting up 4 runs a game, because he's really been the focal point of the offense. We're talking about Jose finding the home run pitch, and I'll probably be on a heater till the end of the season, honestly, and hopefully till we are holding up a World Series trophy. But I'm so excited to see how the guys at the end of the lineup respond. Me and Papa Moon actually were talking. I've expressed that Papa Moon is an avid baseball fan, and he really taught me the game of baseball. And we were talking yesterday, and I said, man, dude, and maybe, I need to chill a little bit, because Chad and I just talked about, you got to get 50 games for a real sample size of where the team's going to be at. And I'm sitting there and I'm seeing Gabriel Arias and Brian Rocchio struggle offensively. And I'm getting flashbacks of last season already. And I'm okay. And Pops is well, maybe they move him to 8 and 9. Maybe they move him down further in the lineup. I'm why would you do that? Why would you? And I'm over here battling with Papa Moon, who, mind you, taught me the game of baseball. And I'm why would you move him down? He's well, you might want to get him hot, and move it. So we look today. Where are Gabriel Arias and Brian Rocchio batting? 8 and 9.
Yeah.
And Gabriel Arias goes deep. So shout out the Guardians and Stephen Vogt for knowing what he's doing. Shout out Papa Moon. I'll be quiet a little bit more, which is hard for me to do sometimes. But I just am excited to see how these guys respond, because you mentioned Bazzana, and Chad, that's the biggest looming thing over this guy over these infielders. They know, especially Gabriel Arias, who can't afford any more assignments. If they slip up, they have the former number 1 overall pick, the guy who just played on Team Australia in the World Baseball Classic, who's really about to become a household name if he isn't already. The moment he gets into that major league level, we're talking the household name of a Steven Strasburg, a Paul Skeens on the pitching side, those types of guys. Yeah. That's what Arias and Rocchio are playing against. So I think seeing them go deep tonight, and you're going to see a little bit more fire under these guys, because they are playing to extend their major league career, whether it is in Cleveland or somewhere else.
Yeah, they're working on borrowed time a little bit, right? You don't typically hold off the number 1 overall pick for very long, just because as an organization, nobody wants to admit they're wrong, right? So he's gonna be in Cleveland sooner or later. I don't know if right now, if it's just refining a couple of things with his swing, or if it's getting him used to maybe a different position defensively. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but they saw something. They wanted him to start down, and it won't be long. I wouldn't imagine it would be long before he's here. And if he can come up and make an impact the way that Chase DeLauder has, my goodness, you've got something. I mean, forget my 84 and 78 prediction. This team's winning 90 games if these guys are all hitting the ball like that.
As of right now, they're on a pace to win 93 games. Now,
right now. Right.
Right now. I mean, watch. Just watch. Watch. This is the season where we we beat the Mariners and the Dodgers and all these top teams, and then we struggle this year against the Chicago White Sox.
Right.
But you know what, Double A, we talked about it last year, when it was last year. Yeah, it was last year we were going to a good amount of games, we were talking about the atmosphere, right? Like, you can tell, especially with baseball, and Chad, I'm sure you could attest to this as well, playing baseball a lot of your life, that there's something about the energy of a clubhouse early on. Mm-hmm. And if you get that vibe early on, it's contagious. Not to go Jarvis Landry for a moment, but it's contagious. It really is. It's harder to catch that in June or July. That's why it's so remarkable what the Guardians did last year with that comeback to win the AL Central. But if you can get that early on in March, April, there's no telling where this team can go. And it's not just contagious like the hope. No, they're actually hitting the cover off the ball offensively for the most part. I mean, not everybody, but it's going to get warmer. Some of these guys are going to start feeling the sunshine, and they're going to be able to warm up. And now that the biggest cog in the machine, Jose Ramirez, is going, and we get Chase DeLauder back hopefully Friday, we'll see when he gets back. Mm-hmm. That's what's exciting. I think you can tell there's a different vibe about this team. And we talked about at the beginning, the starting rotation, if Bybee, Williams, Messick, if those guys can lead the way, we might have a little run here at Progressive Field that makes people forget about everything else going on in the world and get excited about baseball again.
Yeah, and Messick, he looked good the other night too. He looked phenomenal. And again, one of those guys had to step in. I will say this, scheduling-wise, I know the 10 o'clock games sucked. Tonight it started at 8, thank goodness. But at least the games weren't here in Cleveland. We would have probably had 3 rainouts. Yep. We would this weather here, this weather is awful. Awful. Just terrible. And today might have been rained out. And it rained in Los Angeles yesterday. So it blows my mind. But you guys are right, though. The momentum for the Guardians early on, beating great teams.
Yeah.
And and you got to show, we talked about this, I know on the basketball, this is why on the basketball side, I hate the whole conversation of, find the easiest path to the finals. There's no such thing.
No.
You have to beat good competition at all times when they're presented to you so you know how to win. And I think, Chad, to Eli's point, knowing how to win, learning how to win against top-level competition, it sharpens your skills.
Absolutely. And it's a process too. And it's not, it's not just a process for players. It's a little bit of a process for a guy like Stephen Vogt too. He's the manager of the year. That's great. The playoffs haven't gone well, but who really expected Stephen Vogt to come in and navigate them to a World Series championship within the first year or two? I don't think that's a realistic expectation in almost any market, let alone you put them in a smaller market. Cleveland is a smaller market. I don't know that it should be. You've got the Cavs and the Browns who spend with the best of them, right? And then you've got the Guardians here, whatever. It doesn't feel like a small market city sometimes as far as sports fandom goes. It's about as big market as it gets as far as fandom goes. But yeah, I think it's just everybody learning how to win, the whole organization. And it's the pitching staff, it's the offense, it's the managers, it's the coaching staff, it's the bench, everything. Even base coaches, right, play a huge role. When the Braves won the World Series, it was like Ron Washington could do no wrong at third base, sending guys at the right time and holding guys up. Things just magically come together sometimes during those runs, and you can't explain it. You catch lightning in a bottle, and it's from the outside looking in, it looks like magic, but on the inside, that's a team, an organization. That's them learning how to win and how to make the most of those little moments, like going right after Shohei Ohtani and a day after a start. So. Little things like that make a difference. They add up.
Let me sneak in a quick topic. We was going to save this for Unpack Wednesdays, but let me bring it up now. Al Pulowski tweeted earlier in the week suggesting that high school baseball should be played in the fall as opposed to the spring. A lot of it, we just talked about the crappy weather. Yeah. Games are rained out or everything like that. both of you have played baseball at a youth level. Would that be Chad? Is that the right move here in Ohio to move it to the fall, or should it stay at the spring?
It might as well stay in the spring. Because what you're going to do, you're going to force a lot of guys that play football and baseball to pick one. I don't love that. I don't love having to pick a sport in high school like that and specialize in it. I'd rather, you want to play as many sports as you can. But really, when you look at the weather in the fall, it's not all that much better. I mean, when you're going to start, when would you start the baseball season? Would you start it in August, in September? Because there are times when we get a few weeks where it's okay in September. But we also, I mean, if you don't remember, we get a lot of rain in the fall as well. And I think just being in Ohio, just with the way the climate, it gets cold so quickly in the fall, it gets whatever it does in the spring here. I have no idea what this is anymore. But just ultimately, you really can't compete with the states that are going to be able. I mean, these guys play year round. Down south, I mean, just think, Mississippi, Florida, Texas, California, some of the Louisiana, some of the states where the most impactful baseball players come from. It's because they can play year round. And there are fall leagues up here that you can play in on the side or whatever. I just don't know that moving to – I understand what he means weather-wise because sometimes you will see the teams without maybe a good field with enough drainage. They'll play 14, 15 games in the spring, and then it's tournament time, and guys barely get 20 games in their senior year, whatever. It's sad. But I don't know that moving into the fall really helps. I mean, then you've got almost every good baseball team has guys on the football team that contribute. You're losing those guys ultimately because this is Ohio. It's Friday night lights. Guys aren't going to pick baseball over football in the fall. So I think that ultimately would hurt baseball just as much as the weather does in the spring.
I mean, Eli, go ahead. You go.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree wholeheartedly with Chad. I mean, sometimes you get better springs than you get falls, and you might, luck out and get a 3-4 week, stretch of spring where it's nice weather, and you luck out in the rain days or in your off days. And yeah, like Chad's point, you have fields that can take that type of weather and that type of beating every now and then. But like, I don't think you should allow or really force kids, high school athletes to choose. I remember, I'll share like personally, like I wrestled my whole life. And one of the tough things was, and it's okay because I was a really good wrestler, and I appreciate Papa Moon for that. But it was tough being like, okay, you have to choose between wrestling and basketball, and I understand the reasoning for it. It's like you have to focus on one sport. Like you can't really do two sports in the same season. It's a lot, and it's also a lot on a high school athlete. I've seen high school athletes burn out like around me because of doing 2-3 sports in the same season. It sounds fun at first until you're 2-3 months in and you've made these commitments to all of this. So I don't think you should put high school athletes in a conundrum like that. Keep it to where they can do football. You hear it all the time. The 3-sport athlete, 4-sport athlete, where you see football, baseball, wrestling or basketball in the winter. Before that, I don't think you should change that. To Chad's point, I wholeheartedly agree. Like I said, it would be tough, because now you're making baseball and football two of the most prominent sports you have to choose between. It was already tough for me with wrestling and basketball. To the point where I chose to take my 8th grade year of wrestling off and do basketball just because I wanted to experience it one time. And then what happens there is you have a drop-off in the sport that you may really be more dedicated to because you just wanted to experience the thrill of being a high school athlete. Like, I mean, we've all been there before. It's the thrill of, and I was in 8th grade, so it wasn't even high school, but just the thrill of doing something different. And I think you should keep their options open as much as possible. Plus, it keeps them busy year round. You got 2 sports in the fall. Now, what are you doing in the spring?
Track and field.
You're right.
One of my sport, track and field.
You're right. You're right, pal. You're right.
Start those numbers up quick.
You're right. But I guess you limit the options, right? And if you're not as fast or as in shape as AA Anthony Alford, then I guess you're figuring other stuff to do. And there are other stuff to do: the arts, music, play an instrument, learn different things. But I guess I just worry about that too.
Wait, Eli, real quick. I just want to, since you brought up fast and in shape, what do you, over under on AA 30 seconds of speed jumping? We saw the world record. It's 2:28.
Yeah.
Where do you think AA falls? Well, if you gave him 30 seconds, how many?
And you said earlier you do 18, Chad. Is that what you said?
Maybe 18. Well, before I had a catastrophic injury. Yeah.
I think AA could do like 44.
Okay. All right.
Oh boy. Oh, boy.
I think 44. I think he gets off to a hot start, gets 28 to 30, takes a 10, 15-second breather, and then he rattles off.
I would have to eat a donut halfway in between. I just know that. Yeah.
You guys are giving me too much credit. I strictly go to the gym to look good. I mean, what are we doing?
And he just means look good at the gym, not even working out and looking good. He goes there and he dresses nice and he looks good. Yeah.
I stretch just to look good. Certain angles, that's what it is. Chad, I hope Eli didn't share the story the experience I had a week ago at the gym.
No, I didn't share.
Wait, I think I might have heard this though. I might have heard this.
I'm not sharing it.
I just know when I'm at the gym and they got the bottle.
I'll tell you real quick. I was stretching. The woman, by the way, hasn't been back since, so I think I scared her away.
Oh no.
I'm stretching, and I'm my headphones, whatever. I'm listening to one of the hip hop songs, but whatever, and certain lyrics are playing, and I blurt out certain lyrics that start with an F word and a couple others. And I didn't mean to. And the 60-year-old woman, I think she was 60, around that age range, walked on by and turned her head, looked right over. And I was stretching. I was at a bad position when those words uttered out of my mouth, and she turned. That woman hasn't been back at the gym since.
She is currently in treatment for PTSD. She
switched gyms.
I think she transferred over.
Well.
One last quick thing, and then Chad, you can go to bed. There's one last thing we got to bring up. High school boys or high school football across the country, according to NFHS, over 1 million boys play high school football.
Okay.
The number for baseball is between 470,000, 480,000 for baseball, which is not bad.
Yeah.
That's good enrollment numbers for baseball.
Yeah.
But you run into the tricky thing of, in the fall, are you more likely to get games in but less kids?
Yeah.
Or less games but more kids in there? And it makes it tough. All right, last thing, because we're short on time. Chad and I want to make sure that Eli's okay. Chad, you want to run through what happened first, and I'll pick up on my end what happened.
Yeah. So, as recently as last evening, right here on the Inside Edge Network on Inside Edge Primetime, Eli and I were texting. Everything was fine. Everything was good. He was responding, laughed at a couple of jokes, whatever. And I said, "Hey, man, well, whatever. Be in the studio about 9:30." I said, "I'll be there shortly after you." Shortly after did not work out that way. That's not how it went at all. I come up to my studio and I start, I'm organizing some things. I'm putting the last couple of things together for Tuesday top 5. And I look down, there's no Eli. I keep waiting for the little box to pop up at the bottom of my screen. No Eli. So I texted him. I said, "Hey man, you good? You awake?" And no response. Didn't read the text. Right. And I'm like, this isn't good. So I texted him a couple more times. I called him a few times. I blew him up, to be honest with you. I'm texting wakey, eggs and bakey. I'm trying everything, right? Not that I think they can hear my text, but whatever. So I texted Double A. I said, "Hey man, I think something happened to Eli. I don't know what happened. He tripped and fell in a hole. I don't know what's going on, man. He can't get. I don't know. He's not here. He's not in the studio. Let's make sure he's okay first, because when that happens, I worry that you guys aren't okay. I worry about you, right?
Like, we do worry. Yes, we do.
Yeah. I get it. I'm not laughing about the fact that I appreciate the worry. I appreciate
my first response isn't like he hates hosting the show. He's quit. He's gone. Whatever.
No.
Fell and broke his ankle and he can't get up and he's spilled a Coke Zero all over himself or whatever. So I worry. So I texted Double A. I said, "Hey man, get his butt in here or fire him. I don't care." No, I didn't say that. That's not what I said. So he said, "Let me let you know." There's no answer. Let me contact. So we're calling family. Now we got the phone tree out, right? We're calling everybody. Couldn't get a hold of him for a little bit. Double A, maybe you can take it from here because I don't know what happened. I just got nervous and worried after that. I didn't know what to do.
So I had to call the big man. I had to call Papa Moon. I called Papa Moon. I didn't even think he was answering. I don't know his work schedule at night and anything. So I'm like, oh crap, he's probably doing something way more important. If I'm calling him right now, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
After a few rings, he picks up, and I'm like, that was the first time I was like nervous on the telephone because I'm thinking, okay, I've never called him this late, so he thinks something's up. I don't know if Eli's at home yet. I'm like, hello, yes, Papa, how you doing? Is your son home?
Damn telemarketers.
I didn't even refer to Eli by name. I just said, is your son home? And he's like, yeah, let me go. He's probably sleeping. Let me go ahead and get him. So he got him.
Well, I'm sitting here like.
So prime time happens like 25 minutes after the scheduled start time. All right, cool. Show's done. That's that. Great show.
Thank you.
So then, all right, Eli and I daily, we text after prime time like, hey, we just wrapped up, I'll be on at this time. You'll be on at that time. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll be back 5-10 minutes. Already have banners ready to go. Bet.
I sure did too. I did.
And he did. He is right about that. He did. And then I said I'll hop on around 11:50. I was waiting for the Guardians to kind of wrap up. At 11:54, he texted on in 3 minutes.
Oh,
I don't remember sending that text.
Oh, it was sent.
I don't remember sending that text.
It was.
I believe you. I'm not saying it's cap.
It was sent.
I'll wait till you're done, and then I'll tell my side of the story.
And then it's 11:58. Nothing. Oh crap! I gotta put like the descriptions and stuff for the show. I gotta load my clip in, and I have to get my coffee and get the commercials ready. Crap. We start the show at 12:06. I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's in the bathroom doing the number 2. He's not by his phone.
hey.
Nah. Okay, he'll pop on during the first segment. Nah. And I'm like, Moon. And then replay like a commercial like later in the show, like, dude, where are you at? And I didn't realize. Then I crashed after the show. He sent something at 3-something in the morning. I didn't see it until 10 because we had meetings at work this morning. Yeah, I'm like, dude, Eli, what happened?
Yeah, fellas. So,
Meanwhile, real quick, I'm watching the show. I'm watching Midnight Run, and Double A goes to break, and I see I have a text. I'm like, oh, I'll read that. That's sometimes Eli will text me during the show. I'm like, that's probably Eli. It's like, hey, did you see that segment or whatever? I pick it up and it says Moon fell asleep again.
Actually,
like, oh, no.
Moon, before you respond, we gotta take a commercial break on this show.
Oh,
We'll be right back here on the InsideEdge Network.
Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Ryan and Hallie Mosser. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio, but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at mossermomentsphotography.com. Clean energy, bold flavors, no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Helps you lock in and focus. Over 15 absolute fire flavors to choose from. Visit Dubby.gg and use promo code InsideEdge10.
Hey, I got something to show you guys. Take a look. It is spring. Happy spring to all of you. Take a look at what we have here for you from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Beautiful spring scent candles here for you. Hand poured with premium fragrance and essential oils. How about this? Our coconut soy wax candles bring fresh, uplifting spring scents to your home. Made with clean, natural ingredients, they're a mindful choice for sensitive spaces and those who love effortless seasonal fragrances. You got to check it out right now. There's the soft bloom and the lemon bar candles, all healthy ingredients, all from AlleyRoseFragrances.com. And if you're a first-time customer, use the promo code InsideEdge20. That's InsideEdge20. Get this for yourself, for your friends, family, everyone. You want a good-smelling home, AlleyRoseFragrances.com will make it happen. Again, AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Get the new spring candles. And when you order, if you're a first-time customer, InsideEdge20 is the promo code.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
It is late. I have Chad, I have Moon here with me, and we're here real quick. We're going to hear Eli's response. I'm staying away from the group chat. We'll have Eli's response to why he missed work yesterday. But first, BA
I forgot to put the PTO in, man. All right. BA Sweeties.
Moon, if you would have said at least, hey, I went to BA Sweeties, I loaded up on popcorn, I loaded up on snacks and stuff, and I crashed. Okay, that would have been acceptable.
They do have a lot of great stuff, Double A. And I heard they have some great popcorn. In fact, we've tried some of the popcorn.
Yes. And I can attest to you the cheddar popcorn is amazing. It is amazing. But what's also amazing, too, we're coming up on Easter weekend. I know a lot of people have a 4-day work week. And you're hosting family gatherings this upcoming weekend. So, BA Sweeties, that's where you need to be this upcoming weekend. In fact, go now. If you're off Friday, go Friday. And take care of business at BA Sweeties. Popcorns and jelly beans and the Peeps, all that good stuff. Also, the sugar cane pops, sodas as well at BA Sweeties. And when you go, if your cart is $40 or more, if it's worth $40 or more, mention the word lollipop at checkout. This is an in-store promotion only. Mention the word lollipop, and you will receive $5 off of your total order. So BA Sweeties, it is the locally owned, largest candy store in North America, over 75 years of business. And you can find it at Interstate 480, the Ridge Road exit. Make a left on Brook Park Road. The giant lollipop is right there. BA Sweeties. Again, use the promo code in-store promotion only, lollipop at checkout to get $5 off of any order over $40 of your cart. Okay. I got Chad and Eli back. This is kind of turned into a therapy session here with the golden child, Mr. Eli Moon. We want to make sure that we're okay because here at the Inside Edge Network, we are your digital leader for sports, entertainment, and mental health.
Yes.
So,
yes,
Eli. Yeah. So when we last left off, Eli was late for one show and he overslept another show. So.
And I'm not laughing because I did that. Because I feel terrible.
And we're only joking about it because the next day he owned up to it and apologized and stuff. And, well, this is a great radio bit. So, Eli, take it away.
Yeah, I wish I had a really riveting story for you guys. Here's what my side of the story. So I set a lot of alarms because I have a fear of being late. I pride myself on being a professional. Double A, you've worked with me for the last 10 or going on 11 years in many different facets. You know, I pride myself on being sharp and on time. And Chad, over the 4 or 5 months we've been working together, you know, in the 7 months of the network together, but really the 4 or 5 months of prime time, you've seen that I pride myself on being a professional. We're texting early. We're getting the show ready to go. We want to bring a great product to everybody out there tuning right now in at 12:30, 12:40 here on the Inside Edge Network. And if you're tuning in right now, give us a follow, Inside Edge Net. Okay. I set a lot of alarms because I have the fear that I'm going to oversleep these late night shows. We do these 10 to 11 o'clock shows on prime time. I have that little buffer period where I can go get a late night snack. If we have ice cream bars, I can get an ice cream bar. It's a nice buffer moment, and then I can get everything ready for Double A so he doesn't have to worry because Double A works hard. Double A is a program director. Look, we know he works hard here on the Inside Edge Network, and we appreciate him so much. Honestly, I appreciate both of you. So, okay, boom, yesterday. I had a great day. I just want you to know. It was thunderstorming. That was a little scary. I had to go down. A tornado warning here in Parma, so I had to sit down in the basement for a minute, make sure everything was cool because I was caught in the last tornado, and I wasn't risking it. Okay, no worries. Little weather. That's crazy. Chad's power went out. I thought maybe that was going to be the worst thing that happened yesterday was we might not have a show because Chad's power went out. And I'm like, dude, don't worry. We got this. Well, we didn't have this. Chad had this, and Double A had this yesterday. Eli Moon dropped the ball yesterday, and I'm man enough to admit it, okay? Look, most people would not admit it. I'm here the next day admitting that I bleeped up because I know Mama Alford and Mama Moon are watching this, so I'm watching my language. But I bleeped up. I set no alarms. And in fact, I think I set one, maybe, for 9:33, which is actually later than the time I told Chad I would be in the studio, which was 9:30. I said, no worries, 3-minute buffer.
Which leaves one to wonder how you planned on pulling that off. But I digress. Go ahead.
We didn't pull it off.
No, that's okay.
I wake up to hearing Papa Moon go, Eli, prime time. Oh, no. Oh, no. So at this point, I'm wondering if Papa Moon is doing primetime with Chad because Papa Moon's very capable of things at this point.
Yeah.
He's creatively sound. Maybe he is running primetime with Chad, and I've lost my position as the nightly host of primetime. Okay. I've come to grips with it. I wake up. I'm like, oh, my God, how's my hair look? Okay, I make sure I'm good. I grab an Eli Moon hat, put it on. I get ready, get situated. I get in the studio. First thing out of my mouth to Chad is, I'm sorry. And he can vouch for that. First words out of my mouth were, I'm sorry. Look, man, I'm not a sorry guy, but I am sorry in that moment. I apologized. And I was like, dang, man. Dang. So Chad's like, it's okay, man. We're going to have a great show. And we had a great show. Had a great show. For anybody out there that tuned in yesterday and is probably going to go back and watch the replay of yesterday's primetime because that's the only time you'll see me yesterday in programming, you probably want to know that I was awake for about 10 minutes before we hit the air. But
real quick, some of our greatest work happens with while we've been awake for 5 minutes.
Yes.
I have sprinted to school plenty of times, oversleeping the alarm.
Yeah.
So we get primetime done. Boom. I start feeling this wave of just exhaustion. Look, guys, we're all working hard. I'm not gonna sit here and say I work harder than anybody else here on this network. We all work very, very hard.
And can I just say real quick too, Eli and I internally had a running bet of this exact moment for this show. I'm like, one of us. The running bet was going to be me. It was going to be me. I'm like, somebody's going to oversleep this show.
So
somebody did.
Double A and me to if you missed it before the break, we're texting and he's like, hey, I'm gonna be in. He sends me the rundown. Awesome. I start getting to work on banners. I'm talking to Chad. We talk. After the show, we don't just go, all right, see you later. We, me and Chad talk, so we're talking. I'm typing the banners. I'm getting them ready. Chad gets going, on his way. Double A's like, I'm going to be in at 11:50, which I'm going to be honest, Double A, not blaming you here. Probably shouldn't have sent me that text. You gave me times. I would have sat in the studio, but my mind said I have time. So then
Hold up. Here's why. Because I ain't going to lie to you. I was a little tired myself.
Come on.
So listen. My Eli, you know my living room setup arrangement here.
Yes.
I can literally just go from my couch to the studio. But
That's
the couch was comfortable. So
That's the problem I ran into last night. I walked over to my studio, Papa Moon's studio, and I happened to lay down very comfortably for what I thought would be 3 minutes. Said, no worries, 3 minutes. I even set an alarm, I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive. Can't fact check me there. But I think I did, because I didn't want to run into what I just ran into literally an hour and a half ago. And
There's a pattern developing. Yeah,
I woke up and I had a wild dream, like very vivid, that I was late for something. I woke up in a panic and sweats, and it was 3 a.m. And I don't know what happened. I checked to make sure the show went out. The show went out. Proud of you, Double A. My bad. So that's my story. I fell asleep. I just need to. I will take this time on a serious note to prioritize my mental health. I think I need to catch up on some sleep once we finish up our weekly programming, because I just was exhausted. But this is just Eli Moon apologizing in third person, saying I apologize to Double A Anthony Alford and Chad Bryan and the Inside Edge Network for not being there to produce Midnight Run and for being late yesterday, because I pride myself on being a professional, and now I know what I need. W Energy with the code InsideEdge10, and I need Double A to never text me what time he's entering the studio. Just leave it as a surprise, man.
you know, I was just thinking, if I didn't have a day job where, I had responsibilities, I should have just sat here and just let the camera roll and just wait. Just wait. And then 3 a.m, I don't even respond to Eli's text. Oh, my bad, buddy, I'm here. Just hear my intro music hit. All right, we're on the air.
At least they know we're dedicated to the craft. Like
here's what I gleaned from this. We were really close last night to hearing and here's Midnight Run with your host Anthony Alford, and then the screen cuts away and it's just me sitting here going, "Wait, what?"
No,
that's what I'm gleaning from this.
and the weather was horrible last night.
Yeah, it was bad.
Like, I'm shocked we got on the air, period.
Yeah.
For all the weather alerts and all the stuff that was going on. And it was just nuts. It was crazy. Okay. All right. So, Eli, are you okay? Did you share your story?
Yeah, I feel great. You know what? Like I said, I'm not ashamed to admit when I bleep up. You know what? And as long as we can all move past this, then we're good.
We're good.
Moving past it, I don't know. I'm not sure about
2 shows.
I realized that it's about the time my lights came on, Eli's lights went out. I figuratively, but yeah.
I was just so stressed about Chad's power that I was like, dude, that's what stressed me out. You know what?
All right. So, Chad, I got to go to you for this. So I texted you and Christy earlier today. You remember what I texted to you guys?
I do.
What did I say?
It was a little offensive. First of all, you asked me you asked me if I would be upset with you if you just didn't really care about the whole Artemis 2 launch. And I immediately I grabbed my keys and my wife said, "Don't," because that's the program director. And I was like, "No, I'm going to go settle this. I'm going. And I'm going to get some of that BA Sweeties popcorn when I'm there too. And I'm bringing it home. I don't care. I have a bone to pick and I'm going to pick it." And she talked me out of it. It's fine. She talked me out of it. I was starting to sweat a little bit. I got nervous. I was upset with you. But I got over that. I laid down and I took a quick Eli Moon. I'm going to call that from now on, naps are Eli Moons. That's from now on.
That's
so I took
brilliant.
5-10 minute Eli Moon, and I was good to go. I set like 5 alarms. I woke up and I felt a little bit better. So we addressed it. We addressed it together in a text. And I said, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just, I'm from Neil Armstrong. I said some things and I think we hashed it out. I think we're good now, right? We're okay.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
So I texted you guys. I'm like, question for the both of you. How much of a big deal was the space program like in the 80s and 90s?
Yeah.
And both for our audience, both Chad and Christy, they were very excited to share. Like, oh man, it was huge. Space camp.
These knees. Yeah.
It was great. It was so fun. I'm reading through the text. Oh, they're enjoying this.
Hey, dropped the bomb.
I just killed the vibe. I'm just reading, and then Chad sent me something about you guys with prime time. Like, can we use this? Can we use this? And I'm just like, sure, fine.
I got frozen stuff. We got groceries in.
I messed up so bad. Christy is standing by in the studio right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So apparently, when we come back from break, I'm going to get beat down about my lack of excitement for what happened tonight with the space launch.
Yeah. You might have one coming.
Yeah. You're in trouble.
I'm kind of hungry right now, too. I'm going to fire up some chicken.
Okay.
And
okay. You're doing an Eli Moon late night snack.
Hey.
Yeah. We'll be back. I'm Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. This is not going to be pretty.
This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford. This is Midnight Run on the Inside Edge Network. Here's your host, Anthony Alford.
It is great to be back here on Midnight Run here on the Inside Edge Network. It is almost 1 a.m. And I still question why I stay up this late every single day, every single week. But my sleep schedule has been adjusted. So I made everybody else suffer not because I hate the people on the screen right now. Everybody is a great contributor and host here on the Inside Edge Network. There's Christy. There's Chad. Christy from Jersey Chasers. Chad from Inside Edge Primetime with Eli. Sunday Sports Show, Legal Formation. But I texted Christy and Chad earlier today about the space program, about the shuttle launch that happened earlier today, because I was at the gym, of course, working out, trying to avoid trouble, which Eli knows that doesn't happen all the time. And I'm seeing on the television, it's like, breaking news coverage of this NASA and this launch and everything, and I saw historic, and I'm like, the hell's the big deal about this? And I'm not. Look, listen, I'm not anti-space or anything like that, but I guess for me, launching into space in 2026, I don't think it's a big deal. We have Google for a reason. And I told that I made a big mistake. I shared that with Christy and Chad, and I got blasted on this phone the entire night.
Good.
Yeah, where do you
The
think
whole
Google came from?
Yeah.
Double A. My last name is Moon. And you don't care about space in the
Right?
moon? That's
You're severely outnumbered. I am from Neil Armstrong's
That's messed
hometown.
up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Christy,
I
I'm
actually
gonna
got
go
to physically see the launch tonight, to visibly go out my front yard, and I went live and I could see the trail of it, you know? So
That's-
I live close enough that when it's nighttime, I can see it. When it's daytime, I can see the smoke coming from behind. Like it's a pretty big deal down here too. So
All right, Christy, you're going to go first here. You need to explain to me what the big deal is about tonight. Why was this important? What happened tonight?
okay. So I don't think NASA came out and actually said this verbatim, but my understanding is in the future, of course, we're going to be traveling to Mars. So in order to get to Mars, got to have a lot of fuel, and they're figuring on setting up a station on the moon in order to hold fuel there. So I think that they're doing this flyby to like scope out the area. And remember, the Chinese landed on the dark side, on the backside of the moon. So we don't even know what they're doing over there. We might be checking out what they're doing over there. Of course, we can't say for sure or not, Chinese spies. I honestly don't know what they're doing. But yeah, and it's historic because it's the first time that an African American gentleman and a female have been going to the moon. Now, they're not stopping on the moon, so I don't see anybody like going to the moon, but they're going to do the flyby past the moon. So
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Wait, that's true? That's a true story?
Well,
That's
yeah.
actually happening?
Yeah, I don't play April Fool's games. Like I don't do April Fool's stuff. So this
I'm
has
glad
nothing to
that
do with April
I'm
Fool's.
glad
This is I speak facts or I tell you I think this. It is true.
Christy, I'm so glad. I know this is Double A show. I'm so glad you don't play April Fool's games though, because Chad and I, we do play April Fool's games.
Oh, our show is going to be ridiculous. Or was ridiculous. Yeah, it's not going to be. It was ridiculous. But
Well, it's always ridiculous, pal.
Yeah.
But
our show's always going to be ridiculous. That was an accurate statement, actually.
Well,
It's too late. I'm too tired to talk. I don't know what my words are.
well, the good news is I can't do any of that because
Well, I
it's
mean, like
April 2nd.
I fool around and I play pranks here and there, but when I'm talking about stuff and like I'm reporting on stuff, I kind of had this run in with somebody earlier in the week. I like to say truths so that people will believe me. And if I'm speculating on something, then I'll say, this is what I think, or this is how I feel. I won't say like, this whole Myles Garrett talk is getting so out of hand. And it's just like, no, he's not going anywhere. They restructure his contract every single season so that there's money so that we could pay people to play for us besides him. He still makes his money. Everybody's happy. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, a lot of what she said right there is those are keys to having a good marriage, by the way. Speaking the truth and saying, hey, I believe and this is how I feel. And those are keys to having a good marriage, by the way. So pretty good.
Wow, Double A, we're learning. We need to have more guests on.
And I've been married a long time.
Boy, this segment can't go
Aw.
No. So, Chad, I'm going to go to you.
Don't worry, I'm leaving soon.
No. It's not your fault. Actually, it's not your fault at all. That's why I'm air frying chicken at 1 a.m.
I was wondering. Like somebody's apartment's on fire. I don't know what's happening right now.
I hear a beep in the background.
I'm air frying chicken at 1 in the
geez.
morning. That's how unhinged I am tonight. So, Chad, when I texted you and Christy, I'm like, would you kill? I said this. I'll read it to our audience here. I said here, would you kill me if I said I could care less about today's shuttle launch? And Chad responded, basically is saying that he would be here in the span of 10 minutes.
I was already out the door. I was on the way. Yeah. I was on the way.
You're in trouble, Double A.
So Chad, what's the big deal about? Explain to this dumb millennial the big deal about the space program, especially back in the 80s and 90s.
Okay, well, first of all, space is real. Okay, the Earth is not flat. We've established those things. The moon exists. It's there. We've been there. We've been to the moon. We can prove that with science. There are actual scientific ways to prove that. And you got to remember, I'm from Neil Armstrong's hometown, man. Like, this is a big deal to me. I grew up with the Neil Armstrong Air and Space Museum less than a 5-minute drive away from my home, man. Like, this is a huge deal. But what the Artemis 2 mission, it paves the way to, like Christy said, future exploration, future lunar missions. We haven't been to the moon in over 50 years. There hasn't been anything like this in my lifetime, even. We sent the Challenger up when I was just in second grade. Obviously, it ended disastrously. It didn't go well. But yeah, we haven't pulled off anything like this in a half a century. That's a really big deal. And it paves the way to future exploration and travel to Mars. We want to get to Mars, right? We want to get there. We're essentially sending people right now further into space than people have ever been. That's a huge deal. And you mentioned Google. You brought up Google, and I'm telling you, this is paving the way for Google to bring you on the moon, AA. We're going to see what it looks like from the moon. They're going to send one of those little cars up there. And it's going to roll around the moon, and there's going to be a lot less traffic, so they'll get it done quicker. Maybe.
AA, have you watched the Jetsons?
Yes,
I mean, like, have you seriously watched the Jetsons?
I love the Jetsons.
Well, growing up, we all knew that that's where the future is heading. We're gonna have the flying cars. They're almost fully autonomous now. So, like, we've got so many things that the future predicted for us that are now coming true that we are creating. And so, next thing you know, it's going to be living on the moon, on other planets, because humans are ruining this one.
Yeah. So it's either the Flintstones or the Jetsons that are a true representation of the future, because either we're going to mess up this planet so bad we're going to end up looking like the Flintstones again, or we're going to advance to the Jetsons. We're going to do one or the other. We're on a track, man. We're on a track.
Yeah. And Chad, you mentioned that you watched this with your family.
Yeah.
How did your kids react to what they saw tonight?
My son was pretty excited. I think my daughter was a little indifferent. I mean, she thought it was cool. But yeah, I just tried to relay to them. I said, listen, don't be like AA. No, I didn't know you were going to be like this. I told them, I said, this is really historic. I said, listen, we haven't done anything like this in my lifetime. And my kids were like, we would never be like AA. So I think they took the lesson really well. I think they understood the assignment and they did it, man. I think they got it. I don't think they understood all the science of it or whatever. I was trying to explain little things, and I'm very amateur. I'm not an astrophysicist by any means, but this stuff is fun. Like I said, I grew up in a space town, man. Like I'm interested in this stuff. So yeah, I think they take a little bit of that. But my son's been asking a lot of questions about planets and black holes and just stuff in space recently anyway. So this timed up pretty well for him, I think. Okay,
so did you guys do I remember in like 5th grade, we had to do like the solar system science project. Rotate all the planets and stuff. Yeah. Eli, when you did you have to do this?
Oh yeah.
Was Pluto a planet when you did it?
Yeah, it's crazy. I was actually talking to Omar, our bro Omar, earlier today, and I said it's ridiculous what they've done to Pluto. They just completely stripped its planet's name, or not its name, but the planet's status, and it's just ridiculous. I think AA
Pluto is a planet.
It is a planet, Christy. I'm absolutely in agreement, and I think it's crazy out here. AA, I think there's a lot of opportunity here with the moon thing here. Real quick, hear me out. Eli Moon, right there Chad's better at the pointing thing, right there. Eli Moon, the moon, we flew around the moon, distance record. Do you think they were playing like Golden Child, my new album, while they were going up to the moon? Because that would have been a heck of a marketing opportunity by me. And I mean, Chad, that's all I'm saying is next time we start getting Eli Moon sponsored moon trips.
Yes.
And we can sponsor the moon base, the Eli Moon base.
Yes.
All right.
I love it.
All right, I'll tell you guys real quick.
It's out of this world.
It is. You know what really pissed me off? You know what bothered me about the whole space thing? When they sent Gail King's ass up to space. I just heard like all these celebrities and stuff, and Gail King didn't even want to go up there.
Listen, that's not space exploration. That was Jeff Bezos saying, I swear I don't have a small dick. I'm going to prove to everybody.
Out of your argument. Yep.
We are on Hinge tonight, though.
On that note, it's after 1 a.m. I
So
need
we
to
are
go to
ruling
bed,
Amazon
guys.
out as a sponsor. Then, am I correct?
No, we're good. We're clear. No. So I guess my final question, because
What
we're
was
almost
with
out of
that?
time
You
now.
don't think you could be a sponsor after that? I don't understand what I
Oh
said
no,
wrong.
no.
There have been many medical advancements. I'm sure he's fine by now. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
you're
there's
good.
lots of things you can do for this.
Yeah, you have nothing to worry about. You're good. So I guess
He's had no work done. Come on.
so. My
And his
final
new wife,
question.
sorry.
No,
It's
you're
late.
good.
It's late. I get like this week. It's late.
It's okay.
Sorry.
We know why he's so obsessed with delivering packages all over the world now. That's now we know why. Now we know.
Oh
Right.
no.
Anyway,
Oh
This
no.
is so
All right.
big.
we get back to the Eli Moon thing. Can we just go back like 5 minutes ago?
No. I have thoughts on Jeff Bezos now.
Yeah. Really? You have thoughts on Jeff Bezos, huh?
I have thoughts. I have a ton of thoughts. My thoughts are a bit longer than his penis. My final,
How did I start?
Oh no.
all right, final question, because it's already 1 a.m. We're out of time. Final question. So, Christy, back to you. So,
Yes,
if
sir.
you have somebody that comes across this, like, what's the big deal about the space program? Why should we care now about the space program? How did what happened tonight help explain to maybe kids or young grown
Like my
adults?
grandbabies?
Yes. Like, how does what happened tonight
Mhm.
kind of reopen the interest of exploring space?
Well, I think it gets people like you that may have been closed-minded to it a little bit more open-minded to it and interested in it. And, they start asking more questions. So the more that you're talking about it, the more advanced the ideas are going to become and the more they're going to become, reality. I've been watching Mark Rober lately on he has a YouTube channel, and he actually was part of the team that sent the Mars rover up there. And I was always so interested in the Mars rover. And so to see him as an engineer and watch his show and the things that he creates, I mean, he's became a famous YouTuber because he created boxes that when you steal the packages, it like explodes glitter everywhere and sprays fart out at you and records you, and it uploads to his YouTube channel. So it's really funny. But he does so many other things, and it really makes science interesting and fun. And if he had been around when I was younger, it would have made me that much more interested in science. Like, I'm more interested in science now than I ever was before in my whole entire life, and I'm almost 50. So, I mean, like,
Christy, we had Mr. Wizard.
yeah, we did have Mr. Wizard.
I mean, what was cool with Mr. Wizard, right?
He
I'll
was
never
very
forget
cool.
when he
I
sliced
love
the
Mr.
banana
Wizard.
with the needle. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'll never forget when he sliced the
No,
banana
you're
with the
fine.
needle and the thread. I was like, it somehow changed my whole life, and that's what got me interested in space. So,
Mr. Wizard?
wait, what? You don't know about
Look
Mr.
him up.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all are young. You have to look up Mr. Wizard, and you need to watch Space Camp.
Okay.
Yes. At the same
Okay.
time.
Chad,
No,
final
no.
thoughts. Same question to you, Chad.
Oh, what was it? Was it about Jeff Bezos? I forget. What was it about?
No, not
No,
that.
not Jeff Bezos.
Oh, I've never seen it. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. It's like the Twins announcer when he asked if you'd ever seen Buck with his pants. Anyway, yeah, no, what was the question? Why is this important? Because I
Yes.
think we have to keep exploring, right? I think it's really cool that Voyager 1 launched in 1976, I think, which was before I was born. I wasn't born. But it's getting close to being one light day away from Earth. It launched in 1976. It's in interstellar space. It's outside of our solar system, and it's not yet one light day away from Earth. It's hard to fathom how big space is, right? And the only way that we can truly make it feel smaller is to explore further and further. And we're not going to be able to send people very far very soon. We know that. So we got to do what we can to get them as far as we can. I mean, the James Webb Telescope has been amazing. There aren't even words to describe what the James Webb Telescope has done for space exploration and for knowledge and just for people like me, I just always want more space knowledge. I'm thirsty for that. I love it. But this is sending people one day to Mars, and using the moon as an outpost. It feels so sci-fi, but we're making it realistic. We're making that real with science and technology and development. And we're back, man. It just feels like this is the first thing that we've had that feels truly good in a long time. And I think that's why it's important.
And of course, if you guys missed it, my Inside Edge prime time, you're gonna see a few bots. I'm only laughing because again, I joked earlier. I'm like, yeah, when Chad sends me a text like, "Hey, can we air a little bit of the footage from NASA?" And I can see the passion from him on my phone, and I'm bringing in groceries. I'm like, fine, sure, right.
Whatever, dude.
You do you.
I don't care.
All clear.
If you guys go to my Facebook page, you can see the little smoke trail because I got it live. Yeah,
That's cool.
Nice.
So.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's awesome.
Fantastic.
That's really awesome.
All right, it's time for us to go to bed. We're done.
Yeah, I'm tired. I'm a
There are
pumpkin.
other topics that we will not dive into. Otherwise, none of us are going to bed. So we're done. Thank you to Christy. Thank you to Chad. Eli, as always, producer of the show, quarterbacking Midnight Run. Got it all covered here. But that's it for the show. I'm going to go to bed, and I'm going to look at this article about how astronauts use the bathroom in space, courtesy of CBS News. All right, have a good one. I'll see you on the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast Friday morning, and we're back here on Midnight Run Monday night, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at midnight right here on the Inside Edge Network. Have a good night, everybody.